Hello and welcome to our online lecture series, Principle of Economic Geography of MA/MSc Geography first year students. So, in the previous lecture, we had studied about approaches, modern approaches and traditional approaches. So, today I came with a new topic of Principle of Economic Geography, and its name is Classification of Economic Activity. So, let us begin to our topic. Here you can see the definition of economic activity, first, second and third definition. Simple definition: human activity which generate income are also known as economic activity. Then according to rich geographers, Rich said the economic activity is a production, distribution and consumption of commodities. And then last one, any economic activity involving the production, the distribution and consumption of commodities depending on the level of generality. So, human activity which generate income are known as economic activity. Economic activity are broadly grouped into some various type of sectors like primary sectors, secondary sector, tertiary sector, or you can also call activity primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary and quinary. So, higher service under the tertiary activity are given classified into quaternary and quinary activities. So, let us first understand the difference between the different sector of the economy, so that it will be easier for us to understand. So, let us see. First is primary sector. Simple speaking, primary sector refers to that sector of the economy which use natural resource to produce goods. Natural factors play crucial roles in the production process. Agriculture and allied activities like mining, fishery, forestry, dairy and poultry are included in this sector. So, primary activity are directly dependent on the environment, as this refers to utilization of earth resource such as land, water, vegetations, building material and as well as minerals. So, they include hunting and gathering, pastoral activity, means fishing, forestry, agriculture and mining and quarrying. So, people engage in primary activity and are also called the red collar workers due to the outdoor nature of their works. So, in this image you can see the red collar workers. For example, agriculture, fishers, forestry, mining and quarrying. So, next is secondary sector. Secondary sector is also called manufacturing sector or industrial sector, and secondary sector also depend on primary sector. So, the primary sector cannot satisfy all human requirements. So, we need to certain industrial goods to make our lives comfortable. The secondary sectors which transform one physical goods into another is called as secondary sector. The manufacturing like electricity, gas, water supply, etc. including in this sector. So, secondary activity add a value to natural resources, add a value to primary raw material by the transforming the raw material into valuable product. Secondary activity therefore are concerned with the manufacturing, processing and construction, means infrastructure industries. So, people engage in a secondary activity are called as blue collar workers. Here you can see blue collar workers. Processing, transformation, qualitative upgradation of primary raw materials, for example household and manufacturing industries. Then the Third is tertiary sector. Tertiary sector. The service sector of the economy is called tertiary sector. Service of various kind like educations, health, banking, insurance, trade and transport are included in this sector. So in advanced countries, the contribution of tertiary sector to the national income is the highest. Here you can see here the tertiary sector's example, like doctors or any teachers, lawyers, etc. So tertiary activity include the both like production and exchange. So the production involved the provision of service that are consumed. So exchange involves the trade, transport and communication facilities that are used to overcome distance. So tertiary job means you can also call the white collar job. So then the next is quaternary sector. Quaternary sector, fourth number. It is a knowledge sector and administrative service. So quaternary activity are specialized tertiary activity in the knowledge sector which demand the separate classification. So there has been a very high growth in demand and consumption of information based service from a natural fund. So managed to tax consultants, software developers, like statisticians, office building, elementary school, universities, hospitals, doctors, theaters, accounting and brokerage firm, all belong to this category of services. Like some of the tertiary function quaternary activity can also be outsourced. So they are not tied to resource affected by the environment or necessarily localized by the market. So here you can see the banking example of quaternary sector: banking, hospital service, teaching, research and government science. I have already told about the example. So and quaternary sector we can also call white collar workers. Then the last sector is quaternary sectors, or fifth number sectors. So in this sector or in these activities are services that focus on the creation and as well as rearrangement, interpretation of new and exciting ideas, then the data interpretation and the use of evaluation of new technologies. So often they refers to as a gold collar profession. Here you can see gold collar profession. They represent the another subdivision of the tertiary sector, represent a special and highly paid skill and senior business executive like government officials, research scientists, financial, etc. So their importance in the structure of advanced economic and outweigh their number. So the highest level of decision makers or policy maker perform in the quaternary activities. So here is the last point: sector wise rates of growth. Primary sector, secondary sector, trade, transport and communication, banking and insurance, community and personal services, foreign trade, etc. Then the next is features of primary activity. So pause this video and note down this, because I have already explained about the features or like examples. Same as features of secondary activity, like 6 to I think 8 features of secondary economic activity. So note down this, it will be useful for your exam, university exam also. Then next is tertiary economic activity, first, second, third, fourth and fifth. Last is quaternary economic activity. It is a knowledge based sector. I already discussed about quaternary and quinary, primary, secondary and as well as tertiary also. So remember this. So thank you, geographers. So in this in the next lecture, so we will discuss about factor of location of economic activity like physical, social, economic and technical factors. So see you in the next lecture. Thank you.